Today I should be doing a deep dive into two female inspired characters. One of which is led by an actual female lead, that is the Rascals, and another one which is actually led by a man, but it's a very interesting project. Now, one of them is going to be launched on the 21st of November, and it's this Rascals, and the other one, Seoul Stars, is actually been the mint has already gone forward, which was on 17th of November. It was for a short window, I think 1,250 or 2,300 on 85. I'll have a look at the page anyway, and I'll show that to you. But let's talk about the first one first, the Rascals. The Rascals I love a lot because I love the artwork. The artwork looks very interesting. It's hand drawn, and if you look at it, it kind of like jumps up at you, because I think in many ways, the comic style, Marvel style thing about about the whole system or the whole artwork is very, very evident. Well, that's from my point of view. The artist might have something different, but this is the web page, and when I look at the artist, I mean, this is the team for Rascals, and fantastically is the Docs team, and you can go to the Kim Rascal Da Vinci, who is the artist. You can go to see what she had work on Instagram. I actually think that this, in a way, I don't know. Am I seeing things? Does this really look like Kim? Maybe, but anyway, it's very lovely art, and this I've been following these guys for a while, and I think I could be mistaken, but they had actually launched this product prior to this. They actually had a launch prior to this, but I think they had a recall because there was some technical issues that were going on with the project, and they offered a refund to all the people who bought the NFTs. This in itself is just a stamp of authenticity, because it actually means that this is a team that cares about their work, and they're trustworthy. That alone is definitely a reason to buy this NFT, just because of what they did. Aside from that, the artwork, I think, like I said to you, is visually stunning, and they have an interesting set of value propositions within this, because what you're looking at is you have a token that is going to be built, and the artwork and the NFT itself, that's this collection, is deflationary. By deflationary, it means that if you have one that is not sold within the initial drop or within the initial mint, it's going to be destroyed. Now, what they mean by that is that it's sent to a wallet which has no name. At least that's one of the most common ways of getting rid of NFTs. And what this then does is that whatever is out there is actually held by people who own it, and the value of your NFTs continue to rise because of scarcity, because the less of the NFTs which are open or which are on the marketplace or which are available means that the ones which are available become more and more valuable. So it's a deflationary system that has been actually being used. Now, there are a number of deflationary systems that are used, and what I would say in all honesty is that with NFTs you have to be, once again, I would say, particularly careful, because NFTs are new. They're a very new method or very new way that you create tokens on the blockchain, and whatever happens, you have to do your due diligence, and you have to make sure that you understand who the team is, and you have to make a decision. This is not financial advice in any way. This is just my opinion. Well, with deflationary systems, what tends to happen is that yes, the value might go up, but I think that if the structure underneath is sound, then what happens is that the product will actually speak for itself anyway, and the NFTs will work as you go along. But there are many teams out there, and there are many NFTs out there, and there are many business models out there. So I'm just reviewing this one and telling you what I think about the way it's actually structured. Now, when you go down to the page, you can see it has some interesting ideas here. So it has this token FCKU airdrop, and it says every Rascal NFT holder will receive an airdrop of 1 million FCKU tokens if they are holding on our snapshot date, sometime between 1 to 2 weeks after the public mint. So that's quite good. The FCKU tokens will be given value through our Solana NFT launchpad. So they'll have a launchpad as well. And a launchpad is an interesting concept. Like I said, quite a number of NFTs have launchpads. And what this does is that this helps other collectors or other collections who want to launch their own NFTs to come and work with them. And this gives a lot of value to the actual ecosystem, or to the actual DAO or token that you have for this particular NFT. So it's a very good idea. I like the launchpad. Whenever I say launchpad, especially if it's executed, I'll always say that this is definitely a project that you should look into. Now, the FCKU token will have rug pull protection, which is now rug pull is a terminology that is used within the crypto space, where the actual team will set up a project, and what happens is that when money is given to them for the project, they will have a long list of things that they want to do. But what they'll invariably do is they'll take the money out and leave you who have invested in the project holding JPEGs that are essentially worthless because there is no utility that is associated with them. So I mean, as a collector, as a collection, or as artwork, if you like it, then it might be worth something to you. But if they have offered and they've promised a roadmap for the way things will go, and this doesn't occur, then that'll be a challenge. So that's what a rug pull is in a nutshell. So it offers rug pull protection, smart contract integration, and we are working on getting our token audited to provide even more security to our community. So these guys are going over and above what I've heard and what I've seen in many NFTs, and I think that it's definitely one that might work in their favor. So there's also something called the Moonverse NFT Launchpad. Moonverse at Art is Solana NFT Launchpad, which will be live within 2 to 3 weeks of our public mint on the 21st of November. And FCKU token and Rascal NFT holders will get access to heavily discounted pre-sale NFT collections. We'll audit every collection on our Launchpad to keep our community safe. So that is exactly what they're going to do. So that's in relation to the Launchpad. So if you look at the roadmap here, I click on the roadmap. So we go down here and it shows you some more of the art. Now, this is a piece I would love to own. This, I think, is just visually stunning. You can see it talks about the community, it talks about minting, and it talks about the market. This is another one I think I would love to own. It's a toss-up. And this looks almost like something to, something related to, I mean, the two little headband and the hairdo actually reminds me of Harley Quinn, sorry. So here we talk about value. Increasing the value of Rascals is massively important to us. Rascals NFT is deflationary, is a deflationary asset, and 100% of all royalties will be used to buy back and then burn floor price Rascals, which will raise the value as the market supply is decreased and we contribute to demand. So that's what I said to you about the deflationary method that they intend to use. So the market, we are working to ensure that we will have a secondary market available before minting any Rascals. You can stay in the loop on this by visiting our Discord, Twitter, or Instagram link in footer. So this just, you can come out here and look at what they're saying in terms of what they intend to do. Now, if I go to their Twitter page, you see what it looks like. You can see that they have a number of the images that they have, and you can see the different kinds of NFTs they have, and they really vary. It's a really wide range of different NFTs that. And what happens is that I like this because sometimes you find some collections that the similarity between the collections is so great that you can't actually, the traits are not always that distinct. I'm not sure how the rarity is going to work in this because these are so different, but I'm sure there will be some kind of rarity system created. But even if you don't get a rare one, I think you want whatever you get to be unique enough to stand out from the other ones and stand on its own. And I think that the value of a female collection by female collectors or by female group of artists or female team is getting higher and higher because there is a call to actually diversify the NFT market a bit more and to bring them to the space. On Solana itself, there might be a number of female-led collections. I don't know that there are as many as what you have on Ethereum because on OpenSea you find a number of them, but even there, the percentage of them is not as many as what you find with the male collection. So this is a very good collection to have a look at. And if you come down here, it says something very interesting. It says our first NFT on our launchpad Moonverse is Metapods NFT. So on their launchpad, they already have an NFT collection called Metabods. Metabods is a 3D digital art, a 500-piece collection built up for the metaverse. So note, this project is in the very first stages of its development. To participate in Metapod pre-sale, you must hold a Rascal NFT. So Once you hold a Rascal NFT and FKU tokens, which will be given to you, like they said, then you can begin to participate in the drops of their launch. But remember, this is only 500. So I see this being one of the very good ones to work with, because it seems to me that they have, once again, a very good structure, and they actually understand what they're trying to do in terms of what's going forward. So our main price will be reduced to 0.4 Sol. Okay, I just saw that. That's 8 hours ago. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good price. And with the lowered supply of 1.5k and all refunding NFTs bond, we hope the secondary market holds a solid, healthy floor price. So that's pretty good, as you can see. I'll say getting there, because all indications is that this could rise, and it's quite good artwork. So that is the first one I shall be talking about. The second one I shall be talking about is this one called Seoul Stars. And Seoul Stars actually was minted yesterday, and it's closed. The minting is actually closed, so you can only get it in the secondary market. I actually had a look at it, and it was at 1.5 Sol, and it's a very interesting project, because what you see, I think it's actually being sold on Magic Eden, if I'm not wrong. Yes, Magic Eden. Magic Eden is one of the many platforms that you have that sells Solana art for the Solana blockchain. So Seoul Stars is an interesting project, and like I said to you, it's actually it was actually set up by this guy, a guy called Jameson Lee, and as you can see, he's got endorsements for this project from a number of different artists. Now, NFTs, I will always say to you, due diligence, please. It's a new space, and there are a number of different business models, some of which will work, many of which won't. So even though you get an endorsement from any artist or any celebrity, I don't think that you should use that as a yardstick to actually buy into a project. I think you should do your due diligence, and you should find out whether the project is one that you believe in, and whether you feel the project has enough within it to take the project forward over the long term. That's if you're in it for that. If you're in it for the short term in terms of flipping, then it's up to you whether you pick this up or not. But this is what it looks like, and it's an interesting project. And what I particularly like is the fact that they've gone into great detail to talk about what the actual virtual singer will look like, whose name is Yuna, and she'll have different iterations, and it depends on which one you get. Now you can see it has information about the producer, the designer, the roadmap. The roadmap is one that I was actually looking at just a few minutes ago. This is what the website looks like. You can go and have a look at it. I'll leave a link down below. And this is the executive producer, a guy called Tommy Lee. These guys, I really don't know very much about them. What I would say about K-pop though is that K-pop, with they had this big band, is it BTS or I think something of that. Sorry, I'm not really into pop, but they were phenomenal, and they took the global music stage by storm. Or they had so many hits, and I think they disbanded it a while ago. Anybody watching this who knows very much about K-pop should correct me, because I could just be, saying stuff that I don't really know about. But anyway, K-pop, I think, because of its history and because of the way it's been able to get into the market, is one that you are sure will actually have a big audience. The audience is not just in Seoul or in Korea where it's developed. It's also the Chinese market, Japanese market, and many other markets around the world. It's quite a good visual representation of music, what K-pop is actually able to do. So what you find here is you see the roadmap, and the roadmap is on 17th of November. Like I said, it will be launched, and then there'll be secondary market on November 2021, which is already there, which is a Magic Eden. Like I said, initial release of Yuna's first soundtrack in December, and the first quarter release of Yuna's first song, minted Yuna's 3D image. So all of these things are methods by which they can add value to the NFT. And this method, especially this, where you can have a concert, I think that in itself is huge, because what it has shown with a virtual concert, there is a lot of money to be made, I think, anyway, if it's done correctly, and if the marketing is done as well as it is required. So I think that this is going to be a project that you should keep your eye on, even though some of the prices I'm already seeing on the secondary market seem quite high. And it means that it was one that you could have picked up if you could have picked that up earlier. Let's have a look at, Seoul Stars. That is what it looks like. You can see already from 1.5. You can see some of the prices you're looking on at here. So it's steadily rising, and you should definitely keep an eye on it. And if you go down here, you can see the activity 1 hour ago, 2 hours ago. You can see that sales are actually going ahead. So as this project continues to progress and begins to get better, I think that you find more sales going on. So this is Seoul Stars, and this is what it looks like. Going back to the website now, if you go down, you can see more information about the whole concept. The holders of Yuna NFTs receive what they will receive. It says 10% of profits on Yuna's first album distributed on a quarterly basis to all holders, 10% of profit for Yuna's first 5 concerts, as well as free access distributed on a quarterly basis, 5% of Yuna's advertising and streaming profits distributed on a quarterly basis. Now, this is an interesting one because streaming, if it's done correctly, signifies consistent and constant income, exclusive access to Yuna albums, and pre-sale access to Mint's Yuna song NFT once completed in 2022. So the NFT is going to be released, the song is going to be released as an NFT, and also that will come with different things like royalties. But I'm not too sure, because I'm not a music executive, how this is going to work. But what I said to you is or what I will say to you is that there is a lot of value that seems to be inherent in this NFT, and it's definitely one you should look at. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my review of these 2 NFTs. Like I said to you before, NFTs are one thing that you should actually have a look into when you actually want to buy, or when you have to look at the background and you have to do your due diligence. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you for watching. Please click on the subscribe button, and please on the notification, so whenever more videos like this come out, you can watch them, and also give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Thank you. See you in the next one.